Hello and welcome to the channel, everybody. Today we have my simulator PC here, an AMD Ryzen 2600 with 16 gigs of 2400 memory and a Radeon 5700, and that is all enclosed in this Thermaltake Armor JR case. Now this case I bought many years ago. I think it was in the mid 2000s. I bought this case initially to put my AMD Atheron 3800 Plus in, which I still have, by the way. It's in this cupboard back here, but of course it's not really getting used. So this PC case I have had for a very, very long time. It has enclosed many PCs that I have had, and I haven't seen a massive reason to upgrade it until now. And especially for a lot of the modern day graphics cards and things like that, cooling is a problem. Now, if you've been following my channel, you'll realize I just put this 5700 in here. And as it was, even the RX 580 that used to be in here was very hot. And then when I replaced this with the 5700, the 5700's running pretty hot too. Like it's, I think about 84-ish to mid 80s for the main GPU, and junction temp is in the 90s. So I want to try and cool that down a little bit. And I don't think I can do that with this case because it only has one fan outlet here and one fan inlet here. It's got a whole ton of filters in here, and this fan is not working anymore. Well, it is, but it isn't. It's most of the time it doesn't work. Very rarely here and there it will spin, however. So that's not helping my temperature problems in this case. So I decided it was just time to upgrade. The Coolermaster Masterbox TD500 mesh. This is the upgraded edition with the mesh, because you don't want to get the normal TD500 because it doesn't have the mesh and airflow isn't as good. I always liked the look of the TD500, but I was always a little bit worried about the cooling. Now that it's got mesh, I believe this is going to be a cooler case. Comes with RGB fans. And unlike this PC, no drive bays and all that in the way, so it can push all the air straight to the graphics card, CPU and all that. You can get this in black or white, and with the RGB controller or without the RGB controller. I got this one in the white with the RGB controller and all the RGB fans and that. So let's move this down for a sec. So yeah, so today I'm going to be doing some benchmarking, mainly temperature benchmarking, just before I pulled this out of my simulator PC. I decided to do some benchmarking, mainly in superposition and heaven and all that sort of stuff, to see what temperature everything got up to in this case. And then when I switch everything from this one to the TD500, I'm going to be running all those same tests again and seeing exactly how much cooler a good modern day case is compared to old cases or cases that aren't very good at cooling. And yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm curious. Alright, so we've started the benchmark and I'm seeing a very, very big difference here. Even before I started the benchmark, I was waiting for it to get hot and then it just never really got hot. So far the old case CPU temp maxed throughout the benchmark at 53 degrees Celsius. So far this CPU temp is only 44 degrees Celsius, and the GPU that was getting a max of 84 is now getting about 74 degrees Celsius. The junction temp on the GPU with the old case was 94, and on this one about 86. Memory temp on the GPU for the old case was 92, on this case 82. And the fan speed that the GPU was running at with the old case was just under 2100 RPM, and the fan speed with the new case is just 1500 RPM. So yeah, we're looking at about a 10 degree Celsius difference in nearly everything, and a reasonable drop in RPM. Now I was going to show you all the different benchmarks with all the different temperatures, but as I started to go through them, I just figured it was going to be a little bit pointless. So it pretty much replicates what happened in the first benchmark, where everything's about 10 degrees cooler. The CPU, the GPU, all that in, whether it be Heaven, Superposition VR, Project Cars 2, Assetto Corsa, all the car racing games and all that. Pretty much everything I tried and I benchmarked was all about 10 degrees cooler. So I thought I'd just leave it there and not waste too much of your time showing you all of them. What I will waste your time with though is showing you some cool LED lighting effects that comes with the RGB controller with this case. And while some of you are looking at the pretty RGB lights, I thought I might just talk about the case, installing a computer in it and what it was like. So it comes with all the little bits and pieces you need to install the hard drives and the little screws and power supply and all that. It comes with 3 RGB lights that you see at the front of the case, pre-installed in my case. The rear case fan I put in myself. I just had one lying about because I always think you should have at least one rear. It does have a spot for 3 case fans up the top, or a radiator, or whatever you like, or you can put the radiator at the front and put the RGB fans up the top. It's really up to you. But yeah, the case was pretty easy to work with, and there's not really much to say. Airflow seems good, and definitely do not regret my purchase here. So the results of changing the case over are pretty good, and totally worth it in my opinion. I was a little bit worried they were going to be similar, but no, they were pretty good. So about a 10 degree drop pretty much everywhere on average. Obviously the more intense the games are, the better frames per second we got by a little bit. I am still curious to see temperature differences when I add the different fans, which I'm actually going to do right now, but I'm going to make a separate video for that. So hit that like button if you liked it, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next video.